Hey everyone, welcome back for another deep dive.
Yeah, welcome back.
Today, we are going to be tackling the future.
The future is now.
Basically, yeah.
AI.
Yeah, so how AI is shaping everything, like how we live and work and shop and just do everything.
Right. And I think, that there's a lot of buzz out there about AI right now, and
For good reason.
for good reason. But we're going to kind of cut through the noise today and really try to understand what are the concrete ways that AI is impacting our lives, and how can we kind of harness the power of AI for good.
Yeah, exactly. And to help us kind of unpack all of this, we're going to be diving into a report called AI-Driven Consumer Trends and Business Applications by Shahar Boyan.
Oh yeah, I've heard of this report. It's a good one.
Yeah, it is a good one. It's super dense, though. There's a lot to unpack here,
Right.
but it's full of really interesting insights, so we're going to break it down for you.
Yeah, we're going to pull out the key takeaways, the most important trends that you need to know about so you can kind of stay ahead of the curve.
Exactly. So let's just jump right in.
Yeah, let's do it.
Trend number one, live streaming.
Okay, live streaming. So this is all about how AI is basically taking all of the data that we're generating all the time and using it to optimize our lives.
Our lives are a stream of data.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, so give me an example. How is this playing out in real life?
Okay, so think about those smart toothbrushes everyone's talking about.
Oh yeah, I've heard of those.
Right. So instead of just reminding you to brush your teeth twice a day like your old school toothbrush.
Which I need to be reminded of.
Right. Well, this is next level. It's analyzing your brushing habits.
Yeah.
It's setting that data to your AI assistant, and then it's using that data to give you personalized tips for better dental health.
Whoa. So it's it sees that I only brush for 30 seconds and it's you need to be brushing for 2 minutes here.
Exactly. Or maybe it notices that you're brushing too hard and it's hey, you need to be a little bit gentler on your gums.
Well, that's good to know. I always do that.
Right. So it's like having a personal dental hygienist 24/7.
I like that,
Right.
but also kind of creepy.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a fine line there.
Yes.
We want the personalization, but we also want to make sure that our privacy is being protected.
Absolutely.
All
So
right.
how do we find that balance?
Right, that's the million-dollar question,
Yeah.
and I think it comes down to transparency and control.
Okay. I like those.
Right, so companies need to be upfront about what data they're collecting
Yeah.
and how they're using it.
Okay.
And consumers need to have the ability to opt out if they're not comfortable with it.
Right. I need to know what data my smart toothbrush is collecting and who it's sharing it with.
Exactly, and you need to be able to say no thank you, I'm good,
Yeah.
if you don't want your toothbrush to be your life coach.
Yeah. Exactly. I don't need that kind of judgment for my toothbrush.
Exactly.
Okay. So live streaming. A lot of potential there, but also some important things to keep in mind about privacy.
Definitely a double-edged sword.
It is a double-edged sword.
Quite a bit.
Okay, so let's move on to trend number two, which is all about our digital twins.
Oh, this is a cool one. Digital doppelgangers.
Digital doppelgangers.
So basically, this is the idea that in the future, we'll all have AI-powered versions of ourselves running around in the digital world.
Whoa, so instead of just having Siri or Alexa, I have AI me.
Exactly, like AI you that knows everything about you, like your preferences, your schedule, your communication style.
And it's doing things for me?
Yes, exactly. So imagine you have to schedule a meeting, AI, you can connect with AI or
Yeah.
other person and find a time that works for both of you without you even having to lift a finger.
Okay. That is really cool and also kind of freaky.
Right. Is it still me if my AI is doing all the work?
Yeah, and what happens if AI me is better at my job than I am?
Right. Am I going to get fired by my own digital doppelganger?
Yeah.
These are all questions that we're going to have to grapple with.
Yeah, I mean, on the one hand, it's super convenient and efficient, but on the other hand, it's are we losing a part of ourselves if we're outsourcing everything to AI?
That's the big question, right? What does it mean to be human in a world where AI is becoming increasingly sophisticated?
Right, and where do we draw the line?
Exactly.
Okay, so digital doppelgangers, definitely a lot to think about there.
A lot to unpack.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, a lot to unpack. All right, so moving on to trend number three, experience overload.
Okay, so experience overload, buckle up, because this one's about to get wild.
I'm ready.
Okay, so imagine a world where AI is curating your every experience, every moment of your day
Yeah.
is tailored to your exact preferences and desires.
Okay, so instead of spending hours trying to find something to watch on Netflix,
Right.
my AI is just here's the perfect show for your current mood.
Exactly. And not just TV shows, but everything. Imagine walking into a store and the displays are changing based on your past purchases and what you're interested in.
Whoa, so it's the store knows me better than I know myself.
Right. Or like you're traveling to a new city and your AI is like creating a personalized itinerary for you based on like your interests, your budget, your energy level. Like everything is just so hyper personalized.
Okay. I mean, that sounds kind of amazing, but also like a little overwhelming.
Right. Like, is there a risk of becoming too reliant on AI to like entertain us, to make decisions for us?
Mhm.
Like, what happens to our own sense of adventure, our own curiosity?
Right. Like, do we even know what we want anymore if AI is always telling us what we should want?
Exactly. And that kind of leads us to trend number 4, which is the counterpoint to experience overload, conscious deceleration.
Okay, so conscious deceleration. Tell me more.
So, as you might have guessed, this trend is all about like slowing down, disconnecting from the digital world, and like reconnecting with ourselves and with nature.
So, like digital detox retreats.
Exactly. Like imagine going off the grid for a weekend and just like completely unplugging from all the noise and stimulation,
I mean, I could use that.
right? Like we all could. And I think more and more people are realizing that like we need that balance in our lives. Like we need that time to disconnect and recharge.
Absolutely. So, how do we make that happen? Like, how do we actually integrate conscious deceleration into our lives?
Well, I think it starts with awareness, like just being mindful of how much time we're spending on our devices and like
Right.
making a conscious effort to unplug more often.
Okay.
And there are also a lot of great tools and resources out there to help us do that, like mindfulness apps, meditation guides, even just like setting aside some time each day for a walk in nature.
Yeah, just like putting the phone down for a little bit.
Exactly. And I think businesses are starting to catch on to this trend too. Like we're seeing more and more companies offering like digital detox packages,
Yeah.
wellness retreats, things like that.
Yeah, it's like the opposite of experience overload. It's like experience less.
Exactly. And there's a real market for that now. Like people are craving that simplicity, that peace of mind.
I could see that. Okay, so we've got experience overload and conscious deceleration, two sides of the same coin, I
Yeah,
guess.
exactly. And I think the key takeaway here is balance. It's about finding that sweet spot between like embracing the amazing possibilities of AI while also making sure that we're not letting it take over our lives.
Yeah, finding that balance, that's always the challenge, right?
Always.
Okay, so speaking of AI taking over our lives, let's talk about emotech.
Ooh, emo tech. This one's interesting.
Yeah, so this is all about how AI is becoming more emotionally intelligent.
Right. So basically, it's AI that can read and respond to our emotions.
Okay, so like how does that work in practice? Like is my phone going to be like, "Hey, you seem stressed today?"
Maybe, but like in a more helpful way, hopefully.
Hopefully.
Like imagine you're wearing a fitness tracker that can sense when you're feeling anxious
Mm-hmm.
and it suggests like a breathing exercise or it adjusts your workout accordingly.
Okay, that's kind of cool, actually.
Right. Or like imagine a music streaming service that creates a playlist based on your mood.
I would love that.
Right. Like it knows you're feeling down and it's like, here's some upbeat music to lift your spirits.
Okay, but then also, like, what if it knows I'm feeling emotional and plays, like, the saddest Adele songs?
Right. Well, that's the thing, right? Like with any new technology, there's always the potential for misuse.
Always.
So we have to be very careful about how we develop and deploy these emotionally intelligent AI systems.
Yeah, like, we don't want our devices manipulating our emotions or anything like that.
Exactly. It's about using this technology to empower people, not to exploit them.
Right, and to make sure that we're always in control of our own emotions.
Exactly.
Okay, emotech. A lot of potential there, but also some ethical considerations to keep in mind.
Definitely a lot to unpack with that one.
It really is. Okay, so moving on to trend number 6, time bending,
Okay, time bending. This one's a bit of a mind bender.
time travel.
Not quite, but we're getting there.
Okay.
So time bending is all about using AI to optimize our perception of time.
Optimize our perception of time. Okay, I'm intrigued.
Right, so imagine having an AI assistant that analyzes your schedule, your energy levels, even your like biological rhythms, and it creates a personalized schedule for you that maximizes your productivity and minimizes burnout.
So it's like time management on steroids?
Exactly. It's like having a personal time coach that's like, okay, so now's the best time for you to focus on this task, and then you should take a break, and then you should schedule that meeting for tomorrow afternoon.
So instead of trying to fit my life into like a rigid 9 to 5 schedule,
Right.
my AI is going to help me create a schedule that actually works for me.
Exactly. And it's
Okay.
not just about work. It's about like optimizing all aspects of your life.
Like leisure time too.
Exactly. Like imagine your AI is like, hey, you seem stressed. You should take a break and go for a walk in nature.
Oh, I like that AI.
Right. Or like, hey, it's Friday afternoon. You've had a long week. Why don't you treat yourself to that concert you've been wanting to see?
Okay, that AI sounds amazing. I want that AI.
Right. It's like having a personal assistant that actually knows you and wants what's best for you.
Yeah, and it's like helping me make the most of my time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because time is our most valuable resource,
You
right?
know, it really is.
And if we can use AI to like optimize our time, to make us feel like we have more time to do the things that we love,
Yeah,
then that's a win in my book.
that's a huge win. Okay, so time bending, very cool,
Yeah.
very futuristic.
Very Jetson-esque.
It is okay. So let's move on to trend number 7, the privacy paradox, which I feel like is something we've been kind of dancing around this whole time.
Yeah, it's the elephant in the room, right? Or like the algorithm in the
The
room.
algorithm in the I like that.
So the privacy paradox is basically this tension between our desire for personalization and our concern about data privacy.
Right. So like we want all the benefits of AI,
Right.
like the personalized recommendations, the
Yeah.
optimized schedules, the emotionally intelligent devices,
Right.
but we also don't want our data to be misused or exploited.
Exactly. And that's the paradox. We want our kid and we want to eat it too.
Exactly. So how do we resolve this paradox? Like, is there a way to have it all?
That's the million-dollar question, and I don't think there's an easy answer.
Okay.
But I think it starts with awareness. Like, we need to be more conscious of the data that we're sharing and how it's being used.
Right.
And we need to demand more transparency from the companies that are collecting our data.
Transparency and control.
Exactly. We need to be in the driver's seat when it comes to our own data.
Yes. I like that. Okay. So privacy paradox, a challenge, but not an insurmountable one.
Exactly. We can do this.
Okay. Last but not least, trend number 8, emotional capitalism.
Okay. Emotional capitalism. This one's a little bit of a head scratcher.
It's like they're trying to like bottle up happiness and sell it to us.
Right. Well, kind of. Yeah. I mean, think about like those apps that track your mood.
Yeah.
So now imagine those apps are like sharing that data with advertisers and they're like, okay, we know this person's feeling a little down. Let's target them with some ads for like comfort food and retail therapy.
Oh,
Right.
no.
Or like imagine a dating app that uses your emotional data to like match you with someone who's like emotionally compatible.
Okay, that's interesting, actually.
Right. Like it knows you're looking for someone who's like really empathetic and understanding. And it's like, boom, here's your soulmate.
Okay, but how do they even get that information? Like, is my phone, like, listening to my conversations?
Well, I mean, it's possible, right? Like our devices are collecting so much data about us these days.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows what they're doing with it?
True, very true. Okay, so emotional capitalism. A little bit creepy, a little bit intriguing.
A little bit of both, for sure.
Yeah, definitely something to keep an eye on.
For sure. All right, so we've covered a lot of ground today.
We have, like, 8 different trends, 8 different flavors of the future.
Right. And I think the main takeaway here is that AI is going to touch every aspect of our lives.
Yeah, like from the way we brush our teeth to the way we feel our emotions.
Exactly. And it's already happening, like we're living in the future right now.
It's true. It's true. So, like, what can we do? Like, how do we prepare for this AI-powered future?
Well, I think the most important thing is to stay informed.
Like, keep up with the latest trends, read articles like this, have conversations with people about these issues.
Yeah.
Because the more we understand about AI, the better equipped we'll be to, like, navigate the challenges and opportunities that it presents.
Exactly. And to make sure that we're using this technology for good.
Exactly.
Okay, well, that's it for today's deep dive.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
It was great having you. Always a pleasure to chat about the future.
Right back at you.
All right, everyone. Until next time, stay curious, stay informed, and stay ahead of the curve.
Yeah, peace out.